The year was 1943. The world was engulfed in the chaos of World War II. While the Pacific theater raged in full force, a small, remote island in the Aleutian chain became the stage for one of the most brutal and forgotten battles of the war, the Battle of Attu. Why Attu? The Aleutian Islands, stretching like a broken string of pearls between Alaska and Asia, held a pivotal position. For the Japanese, controlling Attu and Kiska meant safeguarding their northern flank and potentially threatening the U.S. west coast. For the Americans, it was about reclaiming lost territory and preventing Japan from gaining a foothold in North America. Attu wasn't just another island, it was a strategic chess piece in a high-stakes game. Often overshadowed by larger battles like Midway and Guadalcanal, the Aleutian Campaign was dubbed the Forgotten War. Yet, for those who fought there, it was unforgettable. Attu was a land of stark beauty, snow-covered peaks, barren tundra, and bone-chilling winds. The environment itself was a formidable enemy. In May 1943, the U.S. launched Operation Landcrab. The goal: retake Attu from the Japanese forces who had occupied it since June 1942. The task fell to the 7th Infantry Division, many of whom were inexperienced in Arctic warfare. With support from the U.S. Navy, the troops landed under the cover of dense fog. But what awaited them was no ordinary battle, it was a fight against both man and nature. Commanded by Colonel Yasuyo Yamasaki, the Japanese garrison on Attu was well entrenched. Using the island's rugged terrain to their advantage, they built hidden bunkers and laid deadly ambushes. Yamasaki knew he was outnumbered and outgunned, but his orders were clear: fight to the last man. For the Japanese, Attu was not a battle for victory, it was a battle for honor. The fighting on Attu was unlike anything most American soldiers had experienced. The thick fog turned visibility to zero, and the freezing temperatures sapped their strength. Food was scarce, medical care was minimal, and frostbite was as common as bullet wounds. The Japanese snipers, hidden in the hills, made every step a perilous one. After weeks of grueling combat, the Americans finally pushed the Japanese back into a final defensive position. On May 29, Colonel Yamasaki led a desperate Banzai charge, the largest of its kind in the Pacific War. Hundreds of Japanese soldiers, armed with rifles and bayonets, stormed the American lines in a suicidal assault. The charge broke through initial defenses but was eventually repelled. When the smoke cleared, Yamasaki and most of his men were dead. The Battle of Attu lasted 19 days and came at a staggering cost. Over 500 Americans were killed, with thousands more wounded or suffering from disease and exposure. For the Japanese, nearly all 2,400 defenders perished. Attu was the only land battle of World War II fought on American soil, and it marked the first step in the Allies' eventual victory in the Aleutians. Today, the Battle of Attu remains a stark reminder of the sacrifices made in one of the war's harshest theaters. The island, now part of a wildlife refuge, bears the scars of that brutal campaign. Monuments and relics stand in silent tribute to the soldiers who fought and died there, on both sides. Their story, though often overlooked, is an enduring chapter in the history of World War II. In the unforgiving wilderness of Attu, courage was tested, resilience was forged, and history was made. As we reflect on this remote battle, let us remember the valor of those who fought, the harsh lessons of war, and the enduring hope for peace in even the most desolate corners of the earth.